and we're back on the seafront. Beach goods galore. And there's the pier from this side. So this over here is, hold it up there a bit, our local cinema. It's actually a really nice cinema. I've not been there for ages and ages, of course, because of good old COVID. But very much looking forward to getting back there. Very much looking forward to the new Bond film. I'm absolutely gutted that it keeps getting put back. But hopefully this year we'll finally get to see it. It looks like a great one. And this is a cafe out over here, Shoreline. Great place to come and eat because you can sit around obviously inside, but also the outside. They've got tables around the outside, so you can imagine sitting up there, you're right over the water. And again, we're not really seeing this beach in its best light because the tide's right in. This is normally an enormous beach out across here, and it will be again in a couple of hours. But having said that, it's nice to walk along here when the tide is in and you can see the water right up against the edge here. Right on the edge of the sea, literally. Fantastic. And this is Painton Harbour over here. It's our next place we're going to walk past. Let's go back up here. You know, I walk this almost every day and I still come down and love seeing it each time. It's just such a wonderful place to be. Very, very blessed to live here. Now this place is interesting because this is the Painton Club, and this I think is a beacon of how progressive and woke and up to the minute Painton is, because in 2000 they actually started allowing women to become full members.
Wow.
I know.
Right at the cutting edge, the forefront.
Forefront, absolutely.
Rights,
yeah, I think a lot of it probably formed here, to be honest. It's a great building though, isn't it?
What's the blue flag say?
I don't know. Probably says Auntie Jane had her birthday here. My Auntie Jane had her birthday party here.
I bet it was somebody's residence.
Yeah, it must have been. Do you want to go have a look?
I do.
All right.
I'll try to find out.
Okay.
I can report that a lovely building. It
Yeah.
was built in 1884.
Right.
And has been continuously run since then as the Painton Club.
Fantastic.
It's a purpose-built, members-only club house.
That's brilliant.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's 140 years.
And look at this wonderful thatched cottage here. Isn't that brilliant? Actually, now there is a sign of how progressive Painton is, genuinely over here, because look at this. Stella Gale was the very first harbour master here.
Huh.
There we go, put this up, you can read it if you want to pause it. But she was a harbour master aged 21. So harbour master from 1929 to 1941. Fantastic.
21 years of age.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
How many 21-year-olds do you think could manage a harbour?
Yeah, yeah. And how many women back in those days do you think would be given that point? Yeah. So here, these little huts are where you can go on pleasure cruises or fishing cruises. And this is Painton Harbour. Now the interesting thing about Painton Harbour is that it dries out completely. So all of these boats are sat on the sand at low water, then the tide comes in, floats them as they are now, they can get in and out, and then when the tide goes out they can't get in or out again. If they're in, they stay in, and if they're out, they can't get back in. So yeah, very tidal, but it does make for some very budget price moorings, and in fact we're going to hopefully do a video about a boat in here at some stage. Lovely little spot though, and again you can see this sort of red stone walling everywhere. And these are tenders. These are how people get out to their boats, and you can see this one's got TTBB. TT is tender 2. So if you want to get out to your boat, you keep your tender there, drag it down the slipway. There's a little wheel on the bottom of them normally. Yeah, there we go, look, see a little wheel on the bottom there. So you can pull it out, wheel it down, and then row out to your boat. Nifty, huh? Look at this is nice, isn't it? Harbour Light Restaurant. Okay, onwards.
Yeah. So just charge left. It's a beautiful site.
All right.
I just watched these guys painting these lines.
Oh, cool. Oh, I just stood in that one.
Didn't it?
Oh, well, you know where I've been.
There's your footprint forevermore.
Yeah. Sorry. You imagine him to be shaking his head slowly. Now I think we might take another detour here. So my normal route is to go up behind that building and around, but actually there's quite a pretty route by going this way around. It's a little bit longer, but I think it'd be worth having a little look at. There is BB, which is what we saw the tender to. So that chap who wants to get out to his boat, he launches his tender, that's where we were over there, and toddles out to it, unless it's low water, in which case he can just walk out to it because it's all sand. And that boat there, where are we? Yeah, the one with the red cover, is owned by an AQUAHOLIC viewer, and he's offered to do a video with me on that, an owner's video, because he does boating at a really, really low price by keeping the boat in here, doing his own maintenance, that kind of thing. And so people ask, you know, can you go boating at a lower budget level? That guy's doing it really well. So hoping to chat to him at some stage soon. And then we've got a slipway here, and this is for launching and recovering boats from. And more tenders up here. And more of these very red brickwork. Now what we've got on the right here is a crab processing factory. So there's a lot of crab, not crab fishing as such, but crabbing. And then the crabs, when they get them, are brought here to be processed. There we go. A few boats out of the water. Kayaks in here. And then this little lovely spot is Fairy Cove. Look at that. Pretty. And what's great here at low water is this is all rock pools down here. It's really lovely. You can have a wander around and see all the life that lives in them, all the crustacea and little fishies and other bits and pieces. It's a lovely place to potter about. And we can go across here and then up some steps and back onto my normal route. More of that very red sand. It's quite soft here. There we go. And there's always some bleep who leaves his rubbish, barbecue, whatever. Such a shame. Such a shame. Anyway, on round here, let's not dwell on that. Look at these rocks have been carved out by the water hitting them. And then over here we have a little walkway and steps back up onto the route that I was originally on. There we go. It's all so pretty, isn't it? When I was in the Sea Cubs, we used to practice pitching tents up here before we went on expeditions. Look at that. Some nice views from up here. There we go. Paignton Harbour in all its glory. Onwards. Now these, if I remember rightly, are the Star Gardens, I think they're called. There's a little plaque somewhere. You're going to see if we can see it. I think it's around here. So you'll see there's a memorial here in the centre. And if we go up here, yeah, here we go. These are the Burma Star Garden from the Burma Star Association. Isn't that lovely? So this then is Roundham Gardens and Roundham Head. So our walk takes us on find out around here where you can advertise your business here. I should put a big AQUAHOLIC poster there, shouldn't I? That'd be cool. And again, we've got these amazing views then out over the sea. So Marianne, you'll be delighted to know we are exactly halfway round.
Oh, okay, right.
Well, the good news is, it's all uphill on the way back.
You can go off people so quickly, I find.
I knew she'd be pleased. Okay, so this is our final descent. So what we're going to do is go down, there's some wonderful paths that zigzag all the way down this cliff and take us back down to sea level, and then we're heading on back up. But this is Goodington across here. Now I have done another video where I walk all the way along here and right out to the beach down there, and if you look at my playlists you'll find a playlist called Travel, and in there you'll find all my walk videos. So if you want to see some of the other ones, if you've enjoyed this one, and check them out. There's some nice ones in there. I did some really early morning ones and you had the sunrise coming up. It was just fabulous. But that is Goodington Beach. Not much of it to see at the moment because the tide's in, but there will be a little later. And these are these zigzag walks down here. Here we go. Always reminds me of the Italian job. These zigzag and hairpin down like this. Just need to keep the bus on the road. Anybody who's watched the Italian Job, the original one, will know what I mean. Anybody who hasn't watched the Italian Job, stop watching this, go and watch it. It's a brilliant, brilliant film. Actually, don't stop watching this. Now I'll tell you what I think, Marianne, every time I walk down here when the weather's like this, is that I've been in some beautiful places around the world. I've been down in the south of France, I've been in Italy, Spain, all over the place, some really lovely places. But you come here on a day like this, and really, what else do you need? You've got the sea, you've got the sunshine, you've got the scenery.
Yeah, it really is gorgeous. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And it's only about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's so warm.
Yeah.
You've got everything, really.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's a shame that people aren't aware quite so much that it's here.
I think they probably are now, though. I think it's been one big plus about coronavirus and the whole you can't travel anywhere. People are actually holidaying at home now.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's
and
true.
Enjoying this more. At least I'd like to think so. Although there are very few people here this morning. It is half term.
True enough. A bit of a little thing. Here we go. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen photographs of this because this is one of my favourite places to photograph. I'll show you exactly where they're taken in a moment. But you can see why, can't you? Stunning. Okay, Marianne, we're up there now. And you'll be pleased. And here we are, right back up on the top of the headland again. So the only logical thing to do now is walk right down to sea level and then back up again. There we go, you can just see the sea appearing. Well, you could, until a Ford Cougar appeared instead. There we go, you might just be able to make out the pier in the distance. Back we go, return leg. We need to shepherd Marianne back onto the pavement. There we are. Good girl. Come by, come by.
How did you know that was a Ford Cougar?
Because it was Ford Cougar shaped.
Do you want to know what I did the other day?
No, tell me.
I came out of school. I went to the car and pressed the button and tried the door and it wouldn't open.
Oh, I think I know where this is going. Go on. What sort of car was it, Marianne?
It was also the same, a grey kind of.
Well, what
car.
else do you need? You should have just broken in and taken it anyway.
It was just.
It's baffling, isn't it, Marianne?
It's disappointing. I'm disappointed in myself.
I understand. Okay, we're going to have to overtake now. Go for it. Now I have to show you down here this brilliant garage. It's called Roundon Garage, and you kind of get the impression it's a bit of a time capsule really. Wait till you see what's in the showroom window. This is fantastic. That is an original Rover. No idea how old it is. It's the old 3.5 litre V8. Look at the Ross style wheels on it. In fact, let's look at the number plate. It's a K-Reg. So what's that? That's going to be early 70s, I would think. Can't see very old the reflection, but that is that fine ship. And if we go down a little bit further, there's an old Lotus. Look at this. That's a Lotus Eclat. And the age of that, let's have a look. That is an S-Reg. So I think that's 1978. How fantastic is that? It's the Sprint version. It's got the pop-up headlights, which are up. Just brilliant. And what I like to think about that is that those cars are probably put in there brand new to sell and they're still there. I've no idea how long they've been there in reality, but I don't know, it's just got that theme to it, hasn't it? It's almost like a time capsule, you know, somebody sort of went to sleep for 50 years and then woke up, everything had changed but the cars are still in the showroom. I love this house. Look at the colour of this house. Beautiful sort of teal colour, I guess, mint colour really, isn't it? Look at that. What a great colour for a house. I love this surfboard with the shark bite in it. And do you notice what it is written on it? Land Shark Lager. What's Land Shark Lager?
To me. Land Shark
Lager.
Lager.
It's Jimmy Buffett's lager line.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh God, how did I not know this?
I know, it's baffling. Okay, so we are briefly back on to Main Road. But only briefly. This is the seafront again. We just walked along here, you can see the sea over there. But this time we're going to be on this side of the Esplanade. And we're going along here and then cutting a left and back into another park. And then through onto the main street and then another lovely park with a little bit of Nick history, which I'll explain to you. Now if you do come to Paynton, and especially if you bring the family, you need to do this. This is pirate themed crazy golf. Just terrific. You see the old pirate ship over there, and every now and again there's a boom and a splash as the cannon gets fired. Not a real cannon obviously, but the effective one. Fantastic. Okay, we need to cross the road. There we go. Let's take her on the inside. Perfect. And we're back off the road again now because we're going to cut through this lovely park.